Hail, hail, the Celts are here, and what the hell do we care now? We are having a party in the Champions League. The group stage draw didn't go anywhere near as badly as we maybe feared or worried about. Throughout most of the summer, it felt like, and we had a great time here on the channel, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, where we're live on Celts are here, watching the group stage draw with all you guys that have already subscribed and followed. We had a great time, and it was great drama, wishing any team but us into Group F, the group of death, and it wasn't us, it was Newcastle, thankfully. Sorry, Geordies. And we found ourselves in, a modest group that we all believe we've got a real puncher's chance in. Now, it's definitely not an easy group by any stretch of the imagination, and in the video today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what lies ahead for us as we look to face Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Feyenoord. At any point in the video today, if you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Jump into the comment section of the video and let me know how many points you think we're going to get in the group stages and what position you think we'll finish in. I hope we can get second. Brendan just wants further better. Could we win it? Let's find out, eh? Let's just get stuck straight into it, okay? Now, if we were to think about it as the good, the bad, and the ugly, I definitely think Atletico Madrid would probably come in as all three in a roundabout way. Now, El Cholo Simeone has made his name and his presence and his legacy at Atletico Madrid by, of course, winning 2 La Ligas, but also having credible Champions League runs, reaching semi-finals and finals on multiple occasions with a few different iterations of the squad. And I've been a big fan and a big follower of Atletico Madrid over the last kind of 5 to 10 years, and especially over the last 2 or 3, been watching them with an extra little eye of detail. This Atletico Madrid has been really frustrating to watch, but it feels like finally maybe it's clicking into gear and they're actually quite attacking. Now, they do have a lot of strength and a lot of quality in different options, but they're going to play the same way. They're going to be playing 3 at the back, 5 in midfield with 2 strikers up front. Griezmann is stuck on to be playing every single game, and he is going to be an absolute nightmare for us. World-class player, World Cup winner as well, of course, and he is a big game player. So I think he will be right up for playing at Celtic Park. He'll be right up for the occasion, and he'll want to lead Atletico Madrid to, a pretty good performance overall in the group stage. Now, Alvaro Morata isn't everyone's cup of tea, but the guy's a finisher. There's no two ways about it. Between him and Memphis Depay, there's not going to be any easy combination of forwards we could really hope to see against Atletico Madrid. It is going to be a real task to keep the scoring down and keep ourselves in the match, because normally you think about the defensive resilience of Atletico Madrid, and they definitely have that. Oblak feels like he's getting back to his best form, and this back 3 has been really solid, and they are like really Atletico Madrid. They're going to get booked and stuff like that. Azpilicueta's got a kind of second wind, but Carrasco's out. He's away to Dubai, and it looks like they're going to be playing either Rodrigo Riquelme, who's an attacking midfielder, or a guy called Galan, who is like an actual left back. But anyway, if they are to play Riquelme, that could be a spot where there's definitely some weaknesses here. And in midfield, they've been playing this guy Barrios, and he is a very, very exciting prospect. Hockey's been injured, and they've been desperate to get a defensive midfielder in. It looks like they're trying to get Højbjerg in, and I think that one is quite close. If that does come in, then I think this makes them a much more attacking outfit, because if he can come in here and be a real rock of a defensive midfielder, then playmakers like Rodrigo De Paul, Marcus Llorente, or Thomas Lemar just give extra legs and extra running power from midfield to go and support the attackers. That is elite quality, proper top-end Champions League, with the likes of, again, World Cup winner Molina out here on the right wing position. Home and away, I don't think we can expect much out of the Atletico Madrid ties, but they're definitely not one of the European giants that we've come to fear over the years and we've had really embarrassing results against. They could score a good couple of goals, there's no two ways about it, but this is definitely a European giant that we think we can probably go toe-to-toe with, and I fancy us over both legs to give us a good account of ourselves. I say both legs, you know what I mean. And hey, if we can get anything out of them at home, it's a Brucey bonus. Mauricio Sarri really started to rebuild his reputation in Serie A last year by getting Lazio into the Champions League by finishing 3rd, and they have been strengthening really aggressively in the transfer market. Similarly to Celtic, they sold their prize player, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, out into the Middle East for mega money, and they took that money, and do you know what they did with it? They bought more players. They bought players that were way better than the other players they had lying around the fringes of the squad and in the best 11. And now, the team that we see this season doesn't look too different. We've seen Kamada, formerly of Frankfurt, Europa League winner, you might remember him, come into the team. Luis Alberto has signed a new long-term contract. Cataldi still plays. Maybe Guendouzi comes into that position. I'm not too sure if you want to fancy him in that role, but he's just signed for Lazio as well. And in the front three, it is typical Maurizio Sarri, kind of Sarri ball. If you watch Chelsea in the Premier League under him, you'll know exactly what they're all about. But Immobile is a European class goal poacher, finisher, predator in the final third, and he is always dangerous to score. We also faced him before, we know what he's all about, but he's still around and still in pretty good form. It doesn't look like he's went to the Middle East himself. Felipe Anderson and Zakagneba are very dangerous, wide attacking forwards that do act like a front three and really do press up in defence. And the second string of attacking options they've got isn't too bad either. Over the off-season, they've brought in wonder kid level talents, Nicola Ravella, Tate Castellanos, Gustav Isaksen from around European football. They've still got Big Pedro out there, if you remember him from Barca and Chelsea, and he still does put in a pretty good shift. So this Lazio team are definitely stronger than the last time we played them, but they're not that imperious. Like, the midfield does look pretty good, but it will be Cataldi that will play for my money, and he's basically just another centre-back. So the midfield isn't exactly a dominant presence in the game for Lazio. It is about turning the play over really quickly, counter-attacking with the forward three. Make sure you get your goal scorer up here. Because of the way they're going to play at Celtic Park and when we're over at their place, it does give us an ability to get into the match at different spells. And as long as we can take our chances, Lazio are definitely a team we could take some points from and put ourselves ahead of in the group for me. But there is no margin for error, I think, when it comes to these games, whether it is home or away, because like I've already shown, like in the squad, they've got two great players to almost every attacking position. Their defence is really solid and quite reliable. You know, they'll be sticking to that and they know what they're doing. They know their job. And, you know, the fullbacks give great width and height as well onto the team. And, you know, like I say, they finished third in Serie A. They're a good outfit. But we can get at them for sure. There's no two ways about it. Now, the Feyenoord games are the ones that we're all expecting are going to be the difference between European football after Christmas or not. And I think that is pretty much going to be the case. As long as over two legs we can outdo Feyenoord, it's very easy to imagine that their results won't differ that much to ours. And subsequently, we should secure third place. Now, over the last couple of years, what isn't going for this Feyenoord team is that they've not played any Champions League football, but they have been playing European competitions for the last 2 seasons. The majority of this team getting to semi-finals and finals, etc. But this is a clear step up in trip from Conference Leagues and Europa Leagues and all that kind of stuff. They've lost a lot of their really good talent, guys like Sebastian Szymanski, Okyan Kokcu, and their Dutch international goalkeeper has broken his wrist. So coming into the group stage, they're definitely a team we should be looking at, is trying to get 6 points over and then, you know, subsequently securing that spot. But when you look at the actual Feyenoord team, they are no pushovers themselves. They've got a lot of really good attacking talent here that plays on a lot of different interchange. So between this guy Paschal, who might not be the starter, they've just spent a lot of money on a guy from Dinamo Zagreb. But between both these guys, very effective left wingers. Calvin Stengs is a really high prospect, wonder kid kind of profile, and he playing from the central position, moves into these little right-hand pockets, but does come out onto the left-hand side to support as well. He's really tricky and basically acts as another winger. So he's not so much a number 10 kind of creative player. The main creative passing is going to be coming from guys like Weaver and Quinton Timber, or maybe Ramiz Zarouki. Johan Bash is Johan Bash has played in the Premier Leagues, maybe somebody you're familiar with as well. Quite similar to Ivanusic in the sense of a very attacking wide forward. And Jimenez is a very prominent up-and-coming striker at the moment. Now, if he has a good Champions League campaign, this is the sort of guy you'll see in a much more of a household name of a team in the not too distant future. So this is a game that's definitely not going to be for pushovers, but with them not having their preferred goalkeeper for a portion of the Champions League group stages, this could be an opportunity where, you know, they have a good defence. Guys like Trauner and Hanko are very well scouted by some bigger teams in European football. And Gertruida, who's just came through their academy, has been scouted by the likes of Leipzig, along with Weaver and Hartmann. There's a little bit of a homegrown element in this Feyenoord team. They're not imperious European kind of giants, as it were, but they have had some European experience. So, you know, they're definitely going to be a difficult game. None of these matches are going to be easy, but I think every single one of them, on individual merit, we have a case to be going into that match with some optimism and to be aiming, in a lot of cases, to be taking the 3 points, if not getting out there with a draw. I think, again, with the sort of midfield that Feyenoord will be playing with, the kind of 2 sitting players, allowing Stengs the kind of free role to go around and do what he's doing, as well as what we've seen at Atletico Madrid and Lazio. I think if our midfield can really be as good as we believe it is, The guys like Hatate, O'Reilly and McGregor and whoever else might come in to supplement the midfield, depending on how Brendan Rodgers attacks the group stages, I think that can be really one of the key parts of the team that does help us go on and get victories. But as we know, at the highest level, we've seen guys like Daizen Maeda, Kyogo and Abada in must-win do-or-die matches for us. They have come in clutch and they've looked really good as a front three, and that's hopefully only going to get stronger with some of the transfer business that we've done. Do you know what? I feel that as long as we can keep the game tight enough where we're not conceding too many goals, I think our midfield is good enough, and I think we could potentially be scoring enough goals in enough of the matches to get enough points on the board. If I'm going to predict how many points we're going to get in the group stages, I don't think you can account for anything out of Atletico Madrid. I would love to think we could beat Lazio at home, and when we go away, I think you would maybe give them the merit they would probably beat us in Rome. But I am a bit of an optimist, and we've done well in Rome before, so I think we could get a draw over there and take 4 points out the Lazio head-to-head. And really, honestly, we should be targeting 6 points in the head-to-head against Feyenoord. So I would like to see Celtic pick up 10 points in the group stages, and I think if you're picking up 10 points, you've got to be looking at finishing second. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section down below. On screen now some other stuff that we've had on the channel that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Hail, hail.